All right, welcome back. Now, y'all remember this lady, Victoria Stilwell. I've shared several of her videos over the past years. I remember at least 5 years ago, I shared one of her videos. Her videos was one of the first or the earliest videos that I shared and objected to or responded to since I've been on YouTube. So way back when I had my old microphone, that's when I first responded to this lady. Now, as some of y'all know, her channel is pure witchcraft. It's pure witchcraft, just straight up evil. And that's pretty much why I don't deal with her videos. I don't even take her seriously. You know, she's that ridiculous. But yet, her videos, she gets some of the highest views on YouTube. Her videos get millions of views. Millions. Now, she supports positive reinforcement training. As we know, that type of training has proven to produce dangerous dogs, just like all of the other types of upbringing for these worthless mutts. But they have been doing this for a long time. For a long time, dog culture has been in the business of framing. And that's literally what they do, people. They frame their own children. As crazy as that might sound, everybody in the dog organizations, the shelter people, the trainers, the doctors, the people at these children's hospitals, they're all in cahoots. Now, I'm going to try my best to support what I've just said. I want y'all to listen to this. This is from the Akron's Children's Hospital. Not only is it from Akron's Children's Hospitals, from one hospital, but this was uploaded almost 10 years ago. Okay, this was uploaded in 2014, May 2014. Now listen to this.
As the weather starts to get warmer, we see an increase in dog bites. In 2013, we saw over 500 dog bites here at Akron Children's Hospital. In the U.S., there's approximately 43 million dog bites every single year.
Now you heard that. She said 43 million. 43 million. Now, this is back in 2014. So the generalized statistics was different. And that's not that long ago. 2014. It's not that long ago. But look at how much dog attacks have risen since then. And that's just 2014.
Dog bites every single year. And those range from small nips all the way up to severe maulings. Children most at risk for dog bites are between the ages of 4 and 13, though we see the most significant dog bites between the ages of 5 and 9. Those are kids who haven't quite learned the boundaries of what's a nice dog and what's an unfriendly dog.
No. Now, as we all know, that's a lie. That's actually the age where kids or we first learn how to walk. And as we're walking, we might stumble, we might run. You're toddlers between 5 and 9. Okay? And I shouldn't have to point this out. But as always, even back then, they try to use the fact that they're kids as a reason to blame them for the attacks.
Of what's a nice dog and what's an unfriendly dog.
Whoa.
Those are kids who haven't quite learned the boundaries.
Right there, she started with the lies. She immediately started with, oh, they don't know their boundaries. Well, before you can do that, you first have to prove that before each dog attack, those kids who were attacked trespassed or came into the dog's boundaries. And you got to do more than just go into the dog's boundaries. That don't justify no attack. He's talking about boundaries. Dog attacks on kids, especially between 5 and 9, never takes place after a kid has approached the worthless mutt.
Bites between the ages of 5 and 9. Those are kids who haven't quite learned the boundaries of what's a nice dog and what's an unfriendly dog.
So they're saying that these kids are being attacked because the kids themselves don't understand what is and what is not a dangerous dog. So what about the mail carriers? What about the police officers? What about other demographics that get attacked frequently? Is it because they don't know their boundaries? If you can't also apply this to other demographics, I'm forced to assume that you're lying. Why are the dogs only attacking kids when they trespass in their territory? But when the dogs attack other demographics, they attack them for a different reason? Get out of here. Get out of here. These are kids who don't know their boundaries. They don't know how to tell a bad dog between a nice dog. Shut up. As if you've proven that every dog that attacked a kid was behaving aggressively and giving off signs before it launched the attack. You don't even know that information, but yet she's making the assumptions as if she's analyzed all the attacks. This is why I say these people are not experts. I'm not just saying that they're not experts. I'm showing you why they're not experts. They don't even do the basic math. And it's pretty crazy to me. But let's continue.
Children should never approach a dog that's barking.
Okay. So right away she goes off on a tirade about what kids do and what they should and shouldn't do, when the reports and the video footage shows that before dog attacks on kids aren't doing nothing to these dogs. Okay, no hypothetical scenarios.
Children should never approach a dog that's barking, growling, or snarling.
Okay, so you're assuming that kids are doing that? How likely is it for a kid to do that? Do you think that's something a kid would typically do? Walk towards a barking dog? I don't think so. I don't believe that kids are likely to walk up to a dog that's barking. But you see how they're throwing out any and everything they can think of. Because the whole idea is just to blame the kids for the attacks. No matter how ridiculous the hypotheticals are, as you can see, they're ridiculous. No matter how ridiculous, throw them out there. And the idea is that if you throw a bunch of scenarios out there, the people who you're talking to will give up and accept that the kids have to be doing some of this stuff. Well, you brought up so many scenarios, so some of it has to be true. No, it's not.
Especially if that dog is unfamiliar. If an unknown dog is approaching you, it's important to stand still and not move. If you are familiar with...
Again, she says that as if she's determined or discovered that kids who are attacked are running before they're attacked. So this is nothing but babble. This is what I mean when I say babble. Well, these people, they start to imagine things and they just respond to their own imagination. That's basically what they do. Forget about facts. Forget about statistics. Forget about real police reports. Forget about real video footage of the attack. Their formula is make up something in your mind that makes sense in your mind and push it as reality.
Familiar. If an unknown dog is approaching you, it's important to stand still and not move. If you are familiar with
And again, that don't prevent a dog attack.
the dog's owner and the dog, it's still important to allow that dog a moment to get to know you. Extend a closed
And you can tell, listen to her, you can tell she just memorizing stuff. It's not a true teacher. Just memorizing stuff, regurgitating it like a robot. These are not real teachers. Shouldn't be in no position of teaching nobody.
you, it's important to stand still and not move. If you are familiar with the dog's owner and the dog, it's still important to allow that dog a moment to get to know you. Extend a closed hand out to the dog to allow them to sniff and become friendly.
Get to know you. No. Hold your hand out so it could sniff it to see if you got food in it. But she's giving advice that can get you hurt. Anything other than stay away from the dogs is advice to get them hurt. And this is advice to kids. She's giving this advice for kids. No. You stay away from them.
Extend a closed hand out to the dog to allow them to sniff and become friendly before petting the dog. It's also important never to pet the top of
What? Become friendly before petting it. What does friendly mean? Just if it doesn't attack you? That's what they call friendly. Remember. It come up, sniff your hand, see there's no food in it, and maybe it turns away and looks in the opposite direction. That's what they call friendly. Oh, now it's okay to pet it. So, no, it's not being friendly. It just hasn't attacked you. So basically, let it sniff your hand, and if it doesn't bite your hand off, then try to pet it. Bend over backwards, go out of your way to endanger yourself, basically. It's pure low IQ primitiveness. And I have to substantiate that charge, because that's a hefty charge that I'm waging. I'm saying these people got low IQs, and because of that, they live a primitive lifestyle. That's just what it is.
the dog's head first. Start with its back. Ask the owner if it's okay to pet its head or ears or tail.
What? They're freestyling. That's what she's doing. She's freestyling.
The top of the dog's head first. Start with its back. Ask the owner if it's okay to pet its head or ears or tail.
She said don't pet it on top of the head unless the owner gives permission. Well, if it's dangerous to pet it on top of the head, don't tell the kid to get permission to pet it on top of the head. What are you doing? It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you talking about, lady? You said don't pet it on top of the head. And you said get permission? Okay, why shouldn't you pet it on top of the head? What they say, oh, because it'll bite you. It'll become aggressive. They'll take it as a threat. So why tell kids to get permission to do exactly that? Another example. These people have no genuine interest in safety. That's clear cut. They have no genuine interest in safety. These people are like soulless people. They don't feel. They don't feel. And it's truly unbelievable.
Become friendly before petting the dog. It's also important never to pet the top of the dog's head first. Start with its back. Ask the owner if it's okay to pet its head or ears or tail. Children always need to be supervised by an adult or a caregiver, as well as our dogs need to be supervised as well. Most cities have leash laws. However, sometimes dogs get off leashes and we need to be aware of that. Having your child play in a fenced-in area is always safe, but we always...
Is always safe. All the story, yeah, well, how? So it can get eaten up inside the fenced area? All the stories I've shared where a kid was inside a fenced area and got ate up by a dog. What are you talking about? Again, these are not experts. They're not experts. I will never get tired of airing these people out. They're not experts.
Get off leashes, and we need to be aware of that. Having your child play in a fenced-in area is always safe, but we always need to be aware of the
See, that's what it is. They don't apply any thought to anything they say. Is that what it is? I'm having trouble articulating it. Is this critical thinking skills? Is that what I'm looking for? It's like, why can't you hold what you've been taught up to scrutiny? I just don't get it.
Dangers that could be outside of that fence. If a dog does attack a child, we recommend that a child get on the ground, roll into a ball, pulling their knees up to their chest, and taking their hands and covering their neck and ears. Those are areas that we see significant injuries, and it's important to protect. Also, the child should...
So, for a nation of adults to say stuff like this lets you know they're insane. If they would rather do this, instruct a 5-year-old that if they start to get stabbed and bludgeoned by a dog, to ball up, cover your head now. And listen what else she says.
Avoid screaming and running.
Don't scream as you're being stabbed and bled out now, Johnny. Rather than remove the dogs, just make sure if you get attacked to curl up in a ball. And if you do get attacked, you must have done something. That's a nation of lunatics. That's lunacy.
Avoid screaming and running. That's something that we find that actually gets the dogs to be more aggressive towards the child.
So doing something that comes natural for a child who's being stabbed will cause the attack to intensify. And they're okay with that. Screaming for a child who's under attack comes natural. They're telling the kids to suppress their natural instincts for the dog. And if the kid screams, they'll say, "Oh, you were screaming. That made it so much worse." Oh, yes. Listen, she's not done.
If the dog has bitten a child, it's very important to call 911 if it's a serious injury. Apply pressure to the wounds if there's bleeding to stop or control the bleeding. Or if it's not as severe, a trip to the emergency room or the physician is always important, especially when it comes to dog bites.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I don't want to share this world with spineless people like this. But I have no choice. Now you heard what she just said. This was 10 years ago, people. They were highly invested in framing, that's all this is, framing children for dog attacks. And this only happens with children. Understand, they don't try to blame postal workers when they're attacked. They do not try any type of Jedi mind trick to blame police officers when they get attacked. Two other demographics that are attacked frequently. You never ever hear the experts saying that these postal workers are actually doing something to provoke the attack. Why not? But all these attacks on the kids, all of these are provoked. I want you to look at this. This is one of the videos from this lady, Victoria Stilwell. Now, this is a recent video, a lot more recent than the other one. This was uploaded 2 years ago, just 2 years ago. Of course, the same culture exists.
Him do that?
With their powerful family dog, endangering their 3 small children.
One day, those teeth are gonna come down hard.
Now you heard what she said. One day those teeth gonna, now check this out.
You don't get a second chance with children.
I don't want to live the next 10, 15 years.
She said you don't get a second chance with children. In other words, if that dog tries to launches an attack on one of your kids, most likely the dog's going to kill the kid. That's basically what she told her.
Having my kids not be happy, not being able to play in their own backyard. They'll scream, they'll yell at her, even, they'll go to hit the dog as well. She dragged you across the backyard. That was fun, right?
No. What made you get an English Bull Terrier?
We did a lot of research. We wanted a dog that had a lot of energy because we have a very energetic family.
What part?
Now, people, do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe that this couple really did research before they got this bully breed? And this is one of the worst, most aggressive bully breeds available. Many dog lovers say it's more difficult to train these particular bully breeds. And she said she wanted one that was high energy. I don't believe she did any type of research like that at all.
She dragged you across the backyard. That was fun.
But you heard him explain that the kids don't like this dog. They scream at it. They don't like it. So why is it there? If the kids don't like it, get rid of it. They refuse. How crazy is that?
10, 15 years, having my kids not be happy, not being able to play in their own backyard. They'll scream, they'll yell at her, even, they'll go to hit the dog as well. She dragged you across the backyard. That was fun, right?
No. What made you get an English Bull Terrier?
We did a lot of research. We wanted a dog that had a lot of energy because we have a very energetic family.
What part of the research did you miss?
Probably mostly the stubbornness.
I know. Oh, no, darling. No. Oh, Papa. Aiden got angry with Dakota, took her muzzle in his little hands and pinched both sides of her muzzle. And I could see her becoming extremely irritated. That was very, very worrying moment.
So this suspected witch, you heard what she just said, and you saw what just happened. But in case you missed something, let's back that up. Now, she said, hey, that can get the kid bitten. Grab the dog's face like this. Oh, I could see the dog getting angry. Oh, your kid grabbed his muzzle like that. Look at the circumstances required for this kid to reach out and squeeze this dog's muzzle. The kid is in his own home. That's first of all. Second, the kid is crying, upset. And this dog walks right up to the kid as the kid is crying and starts licking the kid in the face. And this dumb, nasty, let me calm down, sat there and allowed that dog to lick that boy in the face. And that's why this very young boy got angry and grabbed the dog's muzzle. The only thing they paid attention to was the kid grabbing the dog's mouth. And they completely ignored the fact that the kid was violated and provoked. And these adults took part in violating that kid. That was essentially abuse. You think this kid wants his face licked on? Why wasn't it inappropriate for the dog to walk up and start licking him in the face? She didn't say nothing about that.
Did you miss?
Probably mostly.
You see how they just expected the kid to accept being licked in the face like that? He's already crying. You sit him down. You see the dogs licking him in the face.
The stubbornness.
I know. Oh, no, darling. No. Oh, Papa. Aiden got angry with Dakota, took her
See?
muzzle
Oh, he just got angry with Dakota.
in his little hands and pinched both sides of her muzzle. And I could see her becoming extreme.
See? And then it's no coincidence that this suspected witch is donned in red, black, and white. Boy, this is infuriating.
Irritated. That was very, very worrying moment. Do your boys normally hold on to the muzzle like that?
You hear that? She said, do your boys normally hold on to the dog's muzzle like that? Look at how she's talking as if the dog didn't do anything to this kid. Now, if the dog is upset or in pain, they say don't approach him. If a dog is eating or something, don't approach. Well, here, the kid was upset. So why didn't the same rule apply? Keep the dog away from the kid is crying. Don't let the dog just walk up and lick the kid in the face. They're looking over all that, looking past all that. This is dog worship, true dog worship right here.
Very worrying moment. Do your boys normally hold on to the muzzle like that?
Not
Did you just
normally,
see what he
but
did?
yes. But if
Not normally, but yeah, when you let that nasty mutt lick them all in the face, you idiot. This is what I'm talking about. This is not standard human behavior. A normal functioning human being does not allow dogs around their kids. First of all. Second, you don't let no dog lick your kids in the face. What, is he not supposed to reject that? Was he supposed to be okay with that? Yeah, he had an outburst because you're doing something dumb, primitive, and subhuman. See how they talk as if these kids just have random outbursts for absolutely no reason? No, it's your savage behavior. This is probably the smartest this kid will ever be. Kid's not indoctrinated, not brainwashed yet. That's why they don't like this dog.
Angry with Dakota, took her muzzle in his little hands and pinched both sides of her muzzle. And I could see her becoming extremely irritated. That was very, very worrying moment. Do your boys normally hold on to the muzzle like that?
not
Did you just
normally,
see what he
but
did?
yes. But if she's doing something that he doesn't want her to, he'll kind of go.
So stop. See? But it's all the kid's fault. Even though the mother just said, if the dog is doing something and the kid don't want, yeah, the kid will grab it. Why are you allowing the dog to violate your kids? Is the real question. Because these people are dog worshipers, they only see what they want to see. And that is whatever happens to the dog. They have kids as toys for the dogs. But the dogs are the most important figures in their homes.
But if she's doing something that he doesn't want her to, he'll kind of go at her.
That's such a recipe for a bite in the face.
See that? How about that? And then she said in the face. So instead, the kid is supposed to just stand there, even if the kid is upset, even if the kid is crying. And this is a baby, basically. That's a baby. A baby. This is nothing short of abuse. It's child abuse. Right here on camera. And the kid, they're saying that the kid is supposed to just stand there and take it. What is that? That's more abuse. nasty dog licking the baby in the face. The baby don't want to be licked. And you're sitting there telling them, don't cry. Don't turn your head. Keep your head right there. Let it lick you in the face. That's abuse. These people are sick. It's sick. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Be very, very careful with that.
Okay. It's like a zoo in here most of the time.
Can I go outside? Can you just take me outside? Sure. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, you got a huge backyard.
Yeah.
Wow, it's massive. But they don't
The problem is they don't want to play in it, though, if she's around. It's either the kids are out or the dog's inside or vice versa. It
You hear that?
frustrates me to no end that my kids can't go in their own backyard. You push them on the...
You hear that? When the dog is in the backyard, the kids don't want to go out there. The only time they play in the backyard is when the dog is not out there. Why not get rid of the dog? The kids don't like it. That's all that matters. Get rid of it. They're saying no, the dog stays. You don't like the dog? Tough. What is that? That's abuse. This is legalized, sanctioned abuse.
Wow, it's massive. But they don't
The problem is they don't want to play in it, though, if she's around. It's either the kids are out or the dog's inside or vice versa. It frustrates me to no end that my kids...
Now, can you blame me for the things I say? What's wrong with these people? Now, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Can't go in their own backyard. You push them on the swing, she comes over, she grabs the swing and starts shaking it back and forth with them on it.
Okay.
I have a massive backyard, but they don't even want to play in it.
When the dog is out there, these kids are being terrorized. You could see it on them, that they're just being abused and terrorized by these dog-loving lunatics. And they just let the dog come out and start violating them. The kids clearly show they don't like the dog, and they just let the dog do whatever it wants.
When the kids are on the
See how dumb? This is dumb. Is this what they obviously think, oh, this is what family's supposed to do. Don't cry, you're supposed to play with the dog. That's what families do. Low IQ, that's brain dead primitiveness. That's all that is. What other reason is it why you're not getting rid of this dog that your kids don't like? This dog is even suppressing their physical freedom. And they refuse to get rid of it. You imbecile. That is subhuman. That's below standard human behavior.
It frustrates me to no end that my kids can't go in their own backyard. You push them on the swing, she comes over, she grabs the swing and starts shaking it back and forth with them on it.
Okay.
I have a massive backyard, but they don't even want to play in it. When the kids are on the swing, Dakota will come over and she'll start pulling on it. They don't know what's going to happen, so they're intimidated.
Hey, no.
And this dumb, brain-dead nutter doesn't intervene. Neither one of them intervenes. Notice how they let the dog do whatever it wants. It gets full and complete freedom to violate these kids however it wants. And they stand there like you're supposed to just accept it. You really saw that when the dog walked up and started licking this kid in the face.
Something bad is going to happen here.
She said something bad is going to happen here.
You don't want to take risks. There's no doubt about it. I do see a little bit of a problem. You've got a dog that really, in one way, has an inhibited bite because she's actually never fully bitten, but she's practicing.
And it's your kid's fault. She's practicing because your kids are so terrible. Your kids won't let the dog lick them in the face.
One
So what's the problem here? Is it not a low IQ issue? Is this guy truly bright? Just like a standard human level bright? Is that what y'all telling me? This is the true way to measure IQ right here. Is that what y'all telling me? This guy, ain't nothing wrong with him? It's hard for me to believe that.
day,
And this supposed to be the father of the home. Ain't got a single vertebrae and a single spine in his back at all.
in one way, has an inhibited bite because she's actually never fully bitten, but she's practicing. And one day, damn, those teeth are gonna come down hard. If a bite does happen, that's it, you're done.
Basically, your child is going to be killed.
I don't believe you don't get a second chance with children.
It's always in the back of my mind.
Her kids getting attacked by this dog, according to the mother, is always in the back of her mind.
I'm usually on guard about it because I am definitely afraid that there's going to be that moment that she's going to give in.
It's definitely
That the dog is going to give in. In other words, fed up with the kids harassing and violating it. That's what she means by that. But if this is always in the back of your mind, why is the dog still there? You see how she can't claim to be unaware that there's a threat inside the home. Reckless endangerment laws. You can't claim to be unaware that there was a deadly threat in the home. You just admitted it's always in the back of your mind. And you just got a so-called expert sit right in front of you and tell you. But when something happens, don't nothing happen to these people. Sanctioned form of sacrifice. People, this is the only legalized, sanctioned, dynamic where there are constant fatalities, child fatalities, more consistent fatalities than with anything else.
But she's practicing. And one day, damn, those teeth are gonna come down hard. If a bite does happen, that's it, you're done. I don't believe you don't get a second chance with children.
This
It's
dummy.
always in the back.
Get both of them. Both of them. Just dumb as a rock. These are imbeciles, people. I don't care what nobody say. These are flat out brain dead, low IQ imbeciles. This is what intelligence is. Straight like that. Let me go to the chat room. I need input on this. It's crazy. Happy holidays to everybody. I almost forgot about the holidays. Happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate, happy holidays to you. Shout out to Nocturnal Lux in the building. Jeannie, Mr. Payne, Gerara the King in the house. Oh, yeah. You already know. Man, just when you think you've seen it all, you've never seen it all. This dog culture, it got so many surprises for you. Yeah, how about dogs shouldn't approach people who are minding their own business? This is what I'm saying. This kid was crying. The dog walked up, started looking him in the face. You know why the dog did that? Because of the tears. It just wanted to lick the tears because the tears are salty. Completely food obsessed. Y'all remember that video where a butcher stabbed a dog in the heart over there in China? The dog was inside of a cage and, he stuck the knife through one of the bars and just stabbed it in the heart. And immediately that dog started to lick its own blood. It screamed. And then when it saw the blood squirting out, it immediately started licking it up. These things are so food obsessed. It don't even make no sense, man. What is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with these people? Ah, goodness. Even if, just for the sake of argument, the child was intentionally provoking the dog, it is not a free pass for an attack. Not only that, the dog shouldn't be there for the kid to so-called provoke. You're endangering the kid by having the dog there, period. Once you violate the kid by sacrificing their safety, I don't want to hear nothing about what they've done. Not when you're talking about kids, especially toddlers. This kid would look like a baby. I don't want to hear nothing about how they squeezed or grabbed. Nothing. That's what we do as humans. We grab stuff. You ain't supposed to have killers inside of the home where your kids grow up and learn the world by touching and grabbing, idiot. I don't want to hear nothing about what no kid does to no dog when you've already made the fatal mistake of bringing the thing around in the first place. The kid can do whatever it wants. These adult dog lovers, they teach through example. They always rubbing on these things and playing with them and touching them. So if a kid grab them and touch them, shut up. It's what you taught them to do. And this kid looked like he's like, what, maybe 3, 4 years old? You gonna chastise him? Why you let that nasty dog lick him in the face while he was standing there crying? That's the real question. He's a bunch of idiots. Would you want somebody walking up to you while you're crying and upset and start licking you in the face? You'd probably slap them too. Well, it's almost like when they're kids, it's like they don't view their kids as real humans yet. You know, that's why they like to compare them to dogs. Oh, you know, dogs. Dogs and kids are no different. They're the same. That's what it is. That's why it's so easy for them to treat their kids so recklessly and that show such low value for their life. Man, we're dealing with true degenerates, man, who don't value human life. That's the easiest, simplest way to put it. And that's always a problem, no matter what era you're born into. And that's something that everybody should talk about. If you're surrounded by people who don't value human life, that's a problem. And that is definitely these people. Lord. Yeah, shout out to Jeannie for that input. So approaching a mutt is the equivalent of dismantling an old trip wire bomb from 1953 that could go off in exactly. And again, nothing is said about the dog when it approaches people. They're always violating people's personal space. Don't hit the red wire. No. Pet the blue one first. And they expect kids, toddlers, to memorize this stuff. Oh, remember, if it attacks you, cover your ears, curl up in a ball, pat it on its back. Like, get out of here. They don't even remember this stuff. Yeah, it becomes cartoonish after a while. It doesn't matter if you're in agony or crying and screaming from being mauled. Hush. Another thing with that screaming, that lady from the Akron hospital said that if the dog attacks you, it's important not to scream. That's the first thing dogs do when they're attacked. That's the first thing they do. They're going to scream and cry and squeal like a pig. Yes, I'm just done with these things. The whole dog culture. They don't have an argument, not one good argument. And I'm just done with these people. And they've tried these little stupid tests or strategies. We saw people stand still as the dogs approached, and the dogs what? Still launched an attack. We've seen people not even move, not even budge, and still get attacked. Their myths, it get exposed all the time. But because nobody points it out, they just keep repeating it. No. Man, I just hit my notifications. Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of bad stuff about the notifications. I don't know what it is with the notifications. I've been trying to put out an earlier notifications. Like if I put out a notification right now, it won't appear till like 5 minutes from now. So a 10-minute or 20-minute notification is really like 15. Or you'll only see it for 15. At least that's what I think happens. Because a lot of times when I go live, like 5-10 minutes after I send out the notification, nobody gets the notification. So I don't know. I have to see if I can fix that or do something. I was doing a good job on Twitter. I used to give out the notifications on Twitter too, but I got lazy. And I don't like Twitter. It always slow my computer down. Man. But yeah, this woman and other people like her, people who run cons, they are the ones who are successful in this world. The liars, the people who are into sick practices, they get promoted by YouTube. You see this woman, 3.2 million views on this video in just 2 years, 1.3 million subscribers. Yet she's a complete airhead. Complete airhead. Just that one scenario with that kid let me know all I need to know about this lady. You saw the same scenario we saw, but yet we saw two totally different things. There's your expert, and that's as good as it get. She get more views than almost anybody. Cannot make this up. Shout out to everybody. I'm gonna end this here, and I'm gonna make this public, and I will most likely be back sometime tomorrow. Hope you all are able to join me as we continue with this crusade.